So here in this video, we are going to solve quadratic functions by factoring. And the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that one side of the equation is equal to 0. I have already done this for you in this example. Notice how the right side is equal to 0 and all the rest of the terms are on the left side. And simply, if you don't have equal to 0, you got to make sure that you add so that you have 0 on the right side and all the rest of the terms on the left side. And once you have the quadratic function in this form, the easiest way to solve it would be by factoring. So that's the first method you should try to solve quadratic functions, is by factoring. So let's try and factor this left-hand side of the equation. Notice how we have a trinomial. We have an x squared term. We have a negative 8x term. And we have a constant 15. And anytime you factor a trinomial, it's always going to factor into two pair parentheses. And notice, even though you can't see it, there is a 1 in front of x squared term. And there's always an implied 1 if there's nothing there. And anytime there is a 1 in front of the x squared term, you know that your first two terms are going to be x in your parentheses. And now we need to pick up two numbers that multiply and give us positive 15. That also adds and gives us negative 8. So which numbers multiply to give us positive 15? We multiply 1 times 15. It's just positive 15. Negative 1 times negative 15 gives us positive 15. So negative 3 times negative 5 gives us positive 15. And those are the two numbers that we need. We need negative 3 and negative 5. Notice how these two numbers multiplied gives us positive 15, and they also added gives us negative 8. And of course, these all equal to 0. So moving on to our next step. Now we have two parentheses. We have one parentheses in red. In red, which I underlined in red, is being multiplied by the second set of parentheses, and what we need to do is set each set of parentheses equal to 0. So So I'm going to set x minus 3, x minus 3 equal to 0. And I'm going to set the second parentheses x minus 5 equals 0. And many of you are probably wondering why we set each parenthesis equal to 0. So let's just say the first parenthesis is parentheses A. And in the second parenthesis is B. Notice how they are being multiplied by each other and equal.